Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, we're going to make a glitter ombre V-split and floral tumbler. We've done some V-splits in the past, but I am going to use some new floral outlines and add those over top just to give it a little extra. We're using some of the vinyl from the coveted florals bundle from Flynn Sisters Supply Shop. I'm just going to trim off all of these white edges, and then we're going to get it sized for our tumbler. Our tumbler is a 32-ounce plump from the TIPSY Magnolia. I am going to trim our vinyl to the height of the tumbler, and then we're going to create our V-split from that rectangle. To measure, I am going to wrap my vinyl around my tumbler and just mark where they overlap, as well as the length, giving it just a hair on the bottom above the bottom rim. After I have pretty much cut a perfect sized wrap for the tumbler, I'm going to not fold it in half because you don't want to crease your entire sheet of vinyl, but I'm going to just fold that top piece, make a teeny tiny crease at the top, and that's going to be our center point. We're going to go from that center point down to the bottom corner on both sides. This is going to create our V that's going to fit our tumbler perfect. Once we have double and triple checked that it's going to fit correctly, I trimmed off a little bit of that backing so I can line it up on the tumbler. Once I have it in place, I'm going to press that exposed piece down, work my way around the tumbler, pressing the vinyl down as I am removing the back. We're going to use a couple glitter colors for an ombre on this side, and really I just want a darker base to put them on, so I'm just going to use slate gray from my Flippin' Awesome Paints collection. And just so we don't get paint on our vinyl, I'm going to go ahead and tape that off, and I'm going to trim off the excess at the bottom right there at the rim, because I do want to paint and glitter the bottom as well, and I'm going to trim off the excess at the point at the top of our V. After we've got our paint nice and smooth, I'm going to go in with my heat gun on low heat setting to dry this paint up quickly so we can go right in with our glitter glue. Now before I add my glitter glue on, you do want to allow this to cool down completely so it doesn't speed up the dry time on your glitter glue, since we are going to use two separate glitters. If we were using one glitter, we could slap the glue on, add the glitter really fast, and we would be good to go, but I do need a little extra time to do an ombre. After we have our glue on, I'm going to go in with mulberry heavy around the bottom and then just very lightly sprinkle that up into the area where our second glitter is going to go. You can tilt your tumbler, or you can also do it this way and just sprinkle. With these larger tumblers, it's easier for me to do it this way sometimes, especially if my camera is in the way. The next color we're using is Hunter, also from PDB Creative Studio. Again, I'm going to go heavy around that top and then allow that glitter to fall down into our mulberry. I'm going to roll my tumbler on a sheet of printer paper just so I can flatten that glitter out, and then I'll remove all of my painter's tape, allow this to dry for a couple of hours, spray seal it twice with Rust-Oleum matte clear coat, and then I gave this a coat of epoxy. I did add on a decal that was also from the coveted florals bundle from Flynn Sisters Supply Shop, but I don't know if I deleted the footage or if I forgot to push record, but we're going to add on some pinstriping once we have our epoxy and our decal on. And for that, we're going to use that gorgeous green metallic bubble-free vinyl from Teckwrapcraft, as well as the metallic textured gold vinyl, also from Teckwrapcraft. Our vinyl was trimmed perfect, so all we have to do is take our pinstriping and place it right along the seam of the vinyl and the glitter. This pinstripe is cut to 0.08 by 11.5 inches, and then our green metallic pinstripes are 0.005 by 11.5 inches. Now, truly, we could have left it as is, and I think it looks beautiful, but I wanted to add a little something extra and notice that this vinyl, also from Teckwrapcraft, matched some of the florals that was in the vinyl. So I thought, why not add on some floral outlines on top of our V-split? I have mentioned this before, but something that I really like about Teckwrapcraft is that they put a protective layer on top of most or all of their vinyls that has the potential of being scratched, so that it prevents any scratches or scuffs before you use your vinyl. You can take that protective film off and then pop it right onto your mat and into your cutting machine, so it is flawless whenever you cut it. I'm gonna be honest, these florals were an absolute pain to cut. Thank goodness that I have the durable Teckwrapcraft vinyl, because these would not have cut on anything else or any other brand that I have. So the original file is super fine lines, so you do have to add a 0.01 offset to these for them to cut properly and not have any incomplete lines. However, they are incredibly large files, so it takes a long time for Design Space to finish spinning its wheel and thinking and actually add the offset. So if you use these, they're gorgeous, but you have to have some patience. I added a coat of epoxy to the tumbler so there would be some separation between our pinstriping and our floral outlines. And once I had this in place, I sort of, I guess, twisted it somehow or put it back in the wrong place, and it completely went out into the center of my V-split. I intended for it to go up the pinstriping side, and I was going to mimic it on the other side or mirror it on the other side, but at the top instead of the bottom. Hopefully that makes sense, but it did not go where I wanted it to go. But I had already cut this 4 times at this point, and I was not pulling it off and cutting it again. Normally I'm not wearing gloves when I'm adding decals, but I noticed I was putting fingerprints on the areas that were really dark on the tumbler. A little extra incorporated epoxy is so shiny. It really does show those fingerprints if you're putting it on a dark surface. So I decided to wear gloves, and that made it really difficult to press my decals down really well. So once I start removing my transfer tape, you'll see I had some trouble getting the vinyl to actually stick down, but that's because I could not press it down really well with these gloves on. After I made sure my decals was pressed down really well, we're going to add on the first of our 2 final coats of epoxy. I'm also going to add in Pixie to my epoxy. I used this on one of my last trays, and I just love how this looks on dark surfaces. It is so beautiful. It gets a like a burnt orange goldish color to it when you put it on a dark surface, and that was really gonna go well with our floral outlines. I hope y'all have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below and I'll answer them as quickly as possible. All materials I have used will also be listed down below in the description with some discount codes for you. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out. That is all for today. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you next time.